Hi friends, today we will assemble an active car subwoofer based on the old home audio system. The mentioned acoustic system, or rather the box from it, has been lying around in the attic for several years, so I decided to use it. The speaker itself was also gathering dust, although occasionally it was used for tests and sometimes appeared in my videos. Our system consists of three main parts: a step-up converter, a power amplifier, and a low-pass filter. Here, just like in any other car amplifier, the power must rise from the onboard 12 volts. In our case, it will rise up to 22 volts and feed to the power amplifier. It is necessary to increase the voltage, since it is impossible to get much power from the onboard 12 volts. The sound signal first goes to the low-pass filter. It cuts all frequencies above 100 Hz. Filtered signal goes to the input of the amplifier. The output is loaded with a speaker from which we can hear only pure bass. The box is bass reflex type. The rear wall is made of metal. The holes for the radiator, input and output terminals are cut in it. We don't need most of these holes, so on the inside they are glued with plexiglass, the thickness of which is slightly less than 5 mm. I used special strong glue and the box became durable and hermetically sealed. Let's look what's inside. On the motherboard was an amplifier on the chip TDA2050, which also fed the subwoofer head. This chip is able to develop power up to 32 watts and works in the AB class. That is, it needs fairly massive radiator for heat dissipation. Class AB amplifiers have efficiency in 60 to 70%. In other words, 30 to 40% of the initial power goes into useless heat. Of course, in the new project it was possible to use this chip. But I recently received from China such a board. It is also an amplifier and just for 30 watts, but it is an amplifier for the D class, which has an efficiency of 90% or more. Note that this amplifier is also built on a chip and there is no heat sink on it, all thanks to the high efficiency. The circuit is built on the basis of TPA3110 chip. It is a Class D stereo amplifier with an output power of 15 watts per channel. In our case, use the bridge circuit, that is, we have one channel with a power of 30 watts. The maximum supply voltage of our board is 26 volts. In order to rise voltage from 12 volts was used a simple single-ended converter or booster based on the controller UC3843. Are your printed circuit boards not as good as you would like? Then order them from the JLCPCB website. Factory quality. Boards of any complexity according to your drawings. Cost starting from $2. The JLCPCB website will allow you to preview the downloaded Gerber file. In case you order boards for the first time, the delivery is free. That is additional checking of the board. JLCPCB is cheap, fast, and very high quality. The link will be found in the description under this video. I set output voltage of the inverter to 22 volts so that there is a small margin for safety. How to assemble and adjust this converter I showed in one of my videos. The link to this video will be found in the descriptions. I highly recommend watching. Such a converter is convenient because it doesn't contain any transformers, only one choke. In addition, the converter is very compact, has short circuit protection, and costs inexpensive. But, on the other hand, you can buy such a converter for a couple of dollars. I gave a link to the ready-made options in the description. Low-pass filter is perhaps the simplest but rather high-quality option. It is built on the basis of a dual-operational amplifier BA4558. By the way, if you buy such a chip, pay attention only to the numbers 4558. The letters in the beginning may be different. At the input of the filter is installed an adder for summing the stereo signal into one channel. Then signal go through first-order filter, followed by a second-order filter. And at the output we have a volume control. The filter voltage can vary from 15 to 35 volts. Everything is very simple here. Through the limiting resistor, the voltage goes to the Zener diode, where we get a stabilized voltage of 12 volts, and then this voltage is fed to the operational amplifier. If desired, the input circuit can be removed and the filter can be powered directly from 12 volts. A link to the purchase of such filter can be found in the description under the video. Connect all 3 boards as shown in the photo and check by applying 12 volts to the inverter input. As you can see, everything works perfectly. Now it's time to install it all in the box. A few words about the power of 30 watts. The speaker is already bouncing, so you can conclude that the power is large. But I decided to test the amplifier through clear measurements. The input voltage is 22 volts, which is 4 volts less of the maximum supply voltage for this board. The input of the amplifier is supplied with a sinusoidal signal with a frequency of 1 kHz and amplitude of 5 volts. The output is loaded with a resistance of 5.1 ohm. In parallel to the load is connected a multimeter in the AC voltage measurement mode. The oscilloscope isn't connected to the output of the amplifier, so as not to spoil your impressions from a small amplifier with great possibilities. A load of 5.1 ohm, the output voltage is slightly more than 15 volts, and we get about 22 watts of pure power. Notice, this result was obtained with a 22-volt power supply. Surely, at 4 ohm load and 26 volts of supply voltage, the amplifier will give its 30 watt and even more. I know that many will say that 30 watts for a sub is ridiculous. I would agree, but you need to remember that these are pure 30 watts. It isn't what they write on your car radio. In peaks and at deep lows, this amplifier can give out power that is many times greater than the nominal one. This subwoofer is even steeper than regular dynamics powered from car radio. Well, now let's assemble. The appearance isn't very good, but all this can be fixed. The main thing is that it works well. As a result, I got the super budgetary subwoofer. No more than $5 was spent on stuffing, and it beats all records. Well, friends, it remains to say that links to printed circuit boards and circuit, as well as for the purchase of all models for assembling, will be found in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to my group in Facebook. The link is under the description. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. With you was Kaisyan TV.